We're live from the city of dreams, where the hustle is mandatory. This is Grind Day Lay with me, Shovon Walker. We're peeling back the layers of the lifestyle to find the truth in the grind. But before we get started, I want to start with this quote. As a child, I was in bondage to poverty, trauma, foster care, brokenness, and lots of pain. Those experiences helped build character, and I overcame my childhood traumas by finding outlets like playing basketball and writing poetry that turned into music. It was only then that I realized that those outlets set me free. And that's a quote from Miss Black Diamond, also known as the Queen of Compton, who is our guest today. Now, the Queen of Compton,
yes.
I want to ask you, can you elaborate on that first part? As a child, I was in bondage to poverty, trauma, foster care, brokenness, and lots of pain.
That's a deep quote right there. When I say that I was in bondage to poverty, trauma, foster care, and brokenness, usually when someone is in bondage, it's nothing they can do about it. They didn't place themselves there, you know. I think that part represents my childhood. Like, it sums it up. It's not like it never got better, but for the most part, it was pretty tough being the oldest of four. And I don't really talk about my life like that. People just see me and just be like, oh, she's so tough, or she's a boss. Like, you know, usually people like that go through things, you know, being a voiceless child, or like, I hate to start it out like this, but when I was younger, and I know a lot of young ladies can relate, I was inappropriately touched as a kid. And I hated life. I was very angry with my mother. You know, I was angry with the guy, of course. And just with life, I was just so angry and broken. And the anger that I had as a kid, I'll never forget that anger. I thought like that was gonna dictate the rest of my life, that anger that I had. So when I speak about that, I remember just being the oldest, watching my mama struggle to raise, you know, 4 kids by herself. Her being in abusive relationships, me witnessing it, being right there, and wouldn't stop at nothing to save her or tell her, you know, mama, get out of this. I remember a time that...
But you was a child.
Yeah, I was a child.
Right.
But something wasn't right. Even kids know when something's not right. You know, it just wasn't right. So that's what, you know, just being poor. We were homeless. I talk a lot about braiding hair at the age of 12 for money. And instead of buying the new Jordans for myself, my siblings couldn't afford it. I would be the only ones with the new Jordans if I would use the money for that. So I would give it to my mom so we could stay an extra night in the hotel room. So I say it in my songs too. I'm getting ready to release one so you'll hear it. But that was my life. And so I had to find outlets. Like, basketball was my life. That's what people don't know. Like, I was a point guard. I played basketball. I got scholarships to like Christian girl colleges. And I got pregnant, you know, with my kid early. And so I didn't go to college. And I was actually, well, I did go to college later, but I was actually told that my life was over. Like, oh, you having a baby young, like, that's it for you. Like, you're not going to rap, you're not going to do this. And I really believe that. Shovon, I really believe that. I was just, you're going to lose your shape, you're going to lose your body. I'm like, damn, what? I just got this shit. Right. So I really believe, I really believe those things. I was just so young, believing that. And then when I was pregnant with my child, you know, I would just be writing raps. And it's like, how could this be true if I have so much passion for this? They telling me my life is over and I can't be a rapper, but like, I'm going to be a great mom and I'm going to rap. Why are they telling me I can't do it? And it's in me. The passion is so deep. How could I never not do it again just because I'm having a kid? Right. You know, and it grew from there, you know, rapping with him on my shoulder, on my hip and with a microphone. So outlets, basketball and music. I used to sleep with my basketball. I really did. That's what people know. I was a tomboy really bad, like a tomboy. Right. Like the people that went to school with me would tell you, like, when they see me now, they'd be like, what the fuck?
I wouldn't have believed that.
I was like I was awkward, skinny, little black, little tomboy, you know? And people, I think when they see me now, they'd be like, wow, you really blossomed. But I used to be so angry and just so unhappy. Basketball really, that outlet, I want people to understand, kids, young girls, young boys, if you're going through this or went through, you know, molestation or abuse or parents on drugs, as my father was on drugs, that is not your life. It may be a moment in time that's bad, but you could take that, which is lemons, and make lemonade with it, as we say.
Right.
And so basketball, I slept with that ball. You can ask my sisters. They said, think I was crazy. I would go to the park and just shoot. I still got it. That's what people don't know. Y'all gonna see, because I still got the skills, but I did that. That basketball was my first outlet that set me free, because I would escape the reality just through dreaming about being in the WNBA or just getting out there playing basketball. You know, on the court, I was I was something. Oh my God, I was something. And then when I started writing music, poetry to music, I remember when I changed my name, you know, from who I was, I created Diamond. Like, my name is Diamond. You know, I wanted to create my whole reality different than what it was. What
made you call yourself a diamond?
A diamond. I think because although I felt disgusting as a young girl because of what happened, I felt low. I felt unimportant. I felt unheard. But I knew that I was. I said, despite of this, I'm really dope for real. And one day the world gonna see it. You know, I'm diamond. That, I don't know, it just felt, I didn't understand at that young age that pressure made diamonds.
Right.
And that's probably why I, you know, ultimately felt that way. But I call myself Diamond. And then when someone was telling me, have you ever heard of black diamonds? And I was like, no. They said, look it up. And when I looked up black diamonds, it said that they're a very, very rare form of a diamond. And that was me. At that point, I had a problem with my skin tone. I never had a problem with it. Society did.
Right.
So when I felt that. I did.
Right.
So when I was made aware that, I remember running home to my auntie because I was in foster care, so she got custody of me. And I remember running home to her and I said, Auntie, I cried. She said, how was your first day at school? I said, it was terrible. I said, I'm ugly. Like, I didn't know this bitch. Why you didn't tell me?
Yeah.
And she looked at me. She was like, you are not ugly. You're beautiful. And I was like, well, they said because I'm dark, I'm ugly. Like, I'm ugly. I was so hurt. I never forget that. And I think a part of my innocence was robbed of just being in a world that, as a kid, you think the world is just Disney World. You think it's the Disney Channel. Right. It's not. It's First 48.
When you said that, though, going to school and talking about your skin color, that brought back a instant memory for me. When I was I was being bused in the Valley at this time, and it was a few of us that was black got bused. This was like years ago, long time ago, and I used to feel like that at school.
Wow.
You know, and I never even shared that with my family, my mom, my dad, I never even shared that. I used to just battle it on my own and try and figure it out. I remember even getting into a fight with a dude. He was from Texas, white dude. And I remember he called me a nigger.
Wow.
And I thought myself, in my mind, Muhammad Ali was my hero at that time. Yeah. And I said, man, he can't get away with that.
At all.
And I socked him. I still got the mark on my hand today. But that was my first taste of racism, or you know, of being like who I was, my color, or who I was.
Right.
People thought different of that. So, but yeah, that just brought back that memory. And it's just so many kids that go through that,
right,
and don't have no outlet on how to deal with it,
right.
And some deal with it just probably like I did,
right, with anger,
with anger and internally,
right. So you never talked to your parents about this?
No, not until recently. My mom was like surprised. I never knew that, but. Yeah, but I was like, you know, because I was raised kind of tough, you know, so I never I ain't got to complain to them. I'm just going to deal with it.
Right.
You know.
Wow. But so kids go through a lot of things that they don't understand, and the real world will wake you up and let you know that life is not Disney World. It is not the Disney Channel.
It's not. It is
not cartoons that we used to watch to escape from our reality. Life is really life.
Right.
So that's when I found out, like, that's when I feel as though that's when I embraced, okay, you don't like it? Well, bitch, I love it. My name is Black Diamond. Then it was like so many Black Diamonds, even guys. They couldn't distinguish between, okay, Black Diamond's gonna perform today. Which one, the boy or the girl? I'm like, oh, nah, I'm about to put something in front of my name.
So make me stand out.
Right. So Mrs. Black Diamond. Okay. And not because I'm married, but I'm married to the name.
Right.
That was then. So Mrs. Black Diamond, MBD, I made a real real name out of, Mrs. Black Diamond. And then Queen of Compton came, shortly after that. And I've been pushing it, since. So I've always tried to choose a name that stood out from others.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm so adamant about my brands and the names that I create for myself. It's not easy to create a brand and make it noticeable or respected.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I go so hard for it,
As you should.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us more about who you are right now. Who is the Black Diamond of that little girl? Who has she become now as this woman?
Damn.
And what do you do?
Man, that's crazy because I'm a boss right now.
That's right.
But I'll be honest, a boss is cool.
Right.
I watched the Ayana lady to fix my life. Ayana. I'm saying it. Yeah, Ayana
Van Zandt?
Yes.
Yeah.
She said.
Life coach.
Yes, a life coach. And I I always say I'm a boss. But I heard her say, I'm not a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Because bosses are responsible for others.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm a Libra. I mean, not a Libra. I am a Libra. Keep that. That's so funny.
Right.
She said, I am a leader. I am a Libra. That's funny. Why would that come out like that? Keep that. That's funny.
Right.
She said, I am a leader because leaders are not responsible for others.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get out there and say and do what I do. If you choose to follow, that's on you. I'm not making you follow. So I am a leader. I've always had those qualities as a young girl. But I feel like I wasn't in control of my childhood at all. Mm-hmm. But I felt like when I become an adult, I'm going to order my steps. Of course, God orders them. But I'm going to write this down. I'll follow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. So now I am everything I ever dreamed that I'll ever be. Mm-hmm. Everything that somebody said I couldn't be. Mm-hmm. Everything that people didn't want me to be. I am that. Mm-hmm. A leader, a boss, a philanthropist, an entertainer, a influencer, a strategist, a young lady with a degree. I went and got that when my auntie said I was done. Right. It said, you're done. You're having a baby, you're done. I took that and I ran with it and I went and did everything they said I couldn't do. So I am everything they told me I would never be.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Thank you.
I want to know a little more about, I know you said you're a rapper, philanthropist, and some other things. So on your philanthropy, what is that about?
Yeah, so philanthropy work, I've always had the heart, like people that know me, and this bothered me because somebody, I was cussing out Lush for one, because you don't know what he did with me at No Jumper, but I'm gonna get into that later. Right. We're on another podcast, and they were saying, well, Diamond, the biggest thing about you that makes you successful also messes you up, which is like a double-edged sword. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
What was that?
Motherfucker, what you mean? So I can curse on here, right?
Hey, listen.
Listen, bitch. You heard, you watch your mouth.
Right.
No, but he said, your pride. They use the word pride. To me, it's passion.
Or confidence.
Confidence, but it's passion. I think confidence is it comes with it, but I think it's the passion. They think that because I'm a woman, and maybe a Black woman, that I shouldn't be so proud or go so hard. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm like the modern day Harriet Tubman, if you ask me, or Rosa Parks.
And that's how you should think.
No, I'm serious because the things that, I'm not just a female rapper. I use my voice to speak up for other female rappers. Mm-hmm. If I didn't do it, nobody else was gonna do it. Right. These days, people only care about themselves. Mm-hmm. To me, if people lie on your name, you live your life in a way that when people lie on you, nobody believes them. So you can lie and say Black Diamond is a ratchet, or she's this, or Queen of Compton is a gang member, or she's not free. You can say whatever you want about me. Mm-hmm. But if you actually get into it and see my actions and my steps and what I do, it's a lie compared to what you're saying about me. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm the modern day. I stand up for women's rights, and I stand up for just not just my right, not just women's rights, just for what's right. But I'm vocal about it. Right. They don't like that. So that's not pride. Right. That's a strong Black woman that y'all might not like.
Or they're not used to.
Not used to.
That's what they're not used to.
You hear about Harriet Tubman and the girls that was vocal and went to go do something. Right. Even though it's not slavery. Right. It's still fighting for something. Right. I'm doing that.
And I think, me personally, I think some Black women get a bad rap. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the stigma that sticks with Black women, per se, is they too vocal, right? They too this, they too angry, they too that. Some have reason to be. Some have reason to be. And as a man, I can say that, or as a black man, I can say that.
Yeah.
You know, and stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, yeah, there's some women who maybe a little too much
Mm-hmm.
and they get a little, but me personally, I mean, a lot of black women have reason to be angry. A lot of black women have reason to have to voice themselves, you know, because along the way, a lot of them been getting just stepped on and overlooked. So I feel that just like a lot of black men.
Yes.
So that's why I can identify with it.
Yep.
And I'm not going to just say, oh, well, yeah. And it's not just blacks, even Hispanics too.
Yep.
You know, but what I'm going to say is, in that sense, when I see a strong woman walk in the door, I don't care what color she is, I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. Because if she stand on what she say, I'm going to give her the same respect that I get the next in the man.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not going to look at her like, oh, that's a female. Oh, well, I can't, you know, let me look at her a little less. No, I'm going to give her the same respect as I give the dude. Because I know some women that deserve way more respect than a lot of these men that's moving around.
Say that,
so
Shovon.
I'm just being real, you know, about it. And you know, some people may knock me for it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always speak what I feel is true. But it's truly a pleasure for me to have you here on the show. You know, because I also know you personally.
Absolutely.
You know, we've been through certain things with Homeboy Industries.
Shout out Homeboy Industries. You know, we love y'all. Look at me and Shovon.
You already know. We love Homeboy
Father
Industries.
G, look at me and Shovon. Oh, God.
Come on. And now we on a platform and we're going to speak about it.
Yes.
And, but I also wanted another thing that I, you know, because I seen, I think it was a post where you posed the question about, you know, what we think, how hard it is for black or female rappers in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
From your opinion.
I think that if you look at it, because when people say, oh, she's complaining, I think now that I'm being so vocal about it, it seems like, well, I'm starting to realize that it's now people are thinking like, damn, we don't support them. It ain't just the men or the people that can make it happen for us. It's even our own community. You know, like if you have a sister that rap or an auntie that rap, or go to their shows. Like, go buy a ticket, even if you don't go. Like, repost their music. You know, when they shoot a video, go out there and support them. I think that it was something unspoken, and I've watched a lot of girls struggle with it. Like, even the girls that probably don't like me or beef with me, like, or compete with me, y'all is on the same treadmill as me, running fast, going nowhere. Fast. You think you going somewhere because you speeding, or we not.
Right.
We not. So now I'm starting to do all these different podcasts or just speaking out about the lack of support for female rappers on the West Coast, in LA specifically, but it ain't just LA, because even the Bay Area young ladies too.
Right.
You know, in Northern California. Shout out to them. I fuck with the Bay. I love all the female rappers out there too. No, like if you look at female rap, you have Cardi B, you have Megan Thee Stallion, you have Ice Spice. Well, Nicki Minaj, she tripping. I don't fuck with what she got going on, but we got her too. We have so many female rappers, but they're not from here. Shout out Yo-Yo. We love her. She was probably the last like real female rapper.
Right.
Over here, people like to bring up Doja Cat. Doja Cat is a pop star, in my opinion.
Right.
Oh, she can rap her ass off, but she's a pop star. I don't think it got any bigger than Yo-Yo, really. I mean, and that's just what I'm saying. So it's so many talented women here. This is why I created the Cypher House, because back in the day, and I don't hate to bring this up. I'm glad, because it's going to be Black History Month.
Right.
I have a friend named Kawisi. His dad is Charles Neblett. His dad was a freedom singer.
Okay.
And when I was in college the first time, I had to do a interview on him and write a paper on him. And I think that makes sense for now. It's crazy how things come full circle. So he spoke about protest through singing. Back then, you know, they was protesting for equal rights for blacks, you know, for black, you know, against the white people. And he was saying, you know, we had to find a way to get our voice heard, but in a different way. And it was singing. I'm doing the same thing with these ciphers. So if you don't want to pay attention to the female rappers here, you will see them, because we're going to band together. It's going to be a group of us. Because to me, when it's a plenty, when it's more than, if one, that's cool. But if it's a lot of different girls, and you hear from all of them and they represent different places, they people tuning in, my people tuning in, that girl people tuning in. Everybody's looking like, okay, this is a movement.
That's what it is.
The Cypher House is a movement. Whether they hate it or not, shout out to my partner, Honey Blunt, for her dopeness and her helping me with this. The Cypher House is a movement. And I first started it with just doing regular ciphers every year. And I saw the power in unity with the women. And so that's, I think, Cypher House is my answer to people gatekeeping, the girls in LA.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yes.
You doing what iconic people do. You don't wait to get in the door. You make the door and you walk through yourself.
You walk through it.
You build your own lane. And that's what you're doing. When I first seen the Cypher House, I was like, damn, Diamond really, that's dope. Right. She doing her thing. And she's not looking to nobody to open no doors, and she bringing other females in.
You was finna say bitches, son. Keep it real. She bringing other bitches with her.
I mean,
just be yourself, Shovon.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. You know, because I normally don't like to use that term.
I got you.
Unless that's what they are at that time.
I got you.
But I was just like, damn, she bringing these females in, and when I first watched it, I was like, okay, that's what's up. That's what she's making her own lane. And it could really be big. Yeah. She just got to stick with it, keep the genuine people around her, and keep pushing it and let it do what it do. This could be an iconic thing. You know, I remember it was a time back in the day when I think it was a song that Queen Latifah, Moni Love, it was a few females in there, but they was all from the East Coast. And they did, I think it was, I can't remember the name of the song right now, but it was big. And I think the Cypher House and what y'all doing some of the song could be the same thing in this time.
Do you remember Ladies Night with Lil Kim?
That
it
too.
Was all
That's
them.
Another one. That's another one. Ladies Night. But this is what I'm saying. You starting a movement.
Well, you know what I'm saying? It's a movement already. You feel me? I'm so proud. I thank you for that, Shovon.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I just want you to get across, to know that your heart, your work, your efforts that you putting in, it seemed like, damn, I'm going through the storm. Right. You are. Right. You're going to go through the storm to build it. Because when you build something worth something, it's not going to be easy. You're going to go through the storm.
It's not.
So you keep pushing it and you keep blowing the confidence in the females that are with you, that are around you. Y'all going to bust some doors open.
We're going to bust them open. That's why in my last freestyle, when I said, Dear LA, I'm sipping tea and I'm clocking shit. What I'm saying is I'm sipping the gossip. And I'm clocking it. I'm about to tell you what it is. I'm about to just shout it out. Dear LA, but I'm talking specifically to LA because y'all are the ones doing this. Right. I used my verse to relay a message to LA. If people literally listen to the Red Bull Spiral Cypher that me, Bond the Don, Ash Bash Dakotas, Lily Baby, and Queen Ye, I'm making sure I don't forget none of them, did. I said, Dear LA, I'm sipping tea and I'm clocking shit. Jack the gatekeepers for the keys and unlocking shit. Right. Acting like I'm asymptomatic or I'm kind of sick. That was acting like y'all don't know who the only Queen of Compton is. Right. That shit was like legendary.
Yeah, that was hard.
But when I say, like, when you said, Diamond, you creating your own lane, that's why I get so upset when people swerve in my shit. They didn't give me a lane to be in. They didn't want me in a lane. I had to create my own. Right. So when I do that, don't swerve in it. Don't swerve in it. Don't do that. That's why when people are like, we so angry, why are you so worried about this girl doing that? Or why you so, I go hard for everything I created because they gave me nothing. They gave me nothing. They only paying attention now because it's making noise. Right. You have no choice but to pay attention to it because they loud over there. Right. They want to be heard over there. They banding together over there. They moving for real. So don't come in my lane. If you want to be over here, then you holler at me about it. Don't ever swerve in my shit. I'm gonna get you. So that's why I go so hard for my brands. And people say, well, why is it that big of a deal? Why is she so mad? Or why is she always yelling? So recently, a lot of people are just like, because I'm being very vocal, and I'm starting to make posts. Usually I just do music or post my little ratchet, keep it ratchet, thirst traps. But my voice, no, for real. And they be going viral now. Don't let the devil use you. I know y'all be watching. Right. Subscribe to OnlyFans because I need the money. period. But I think my voice, I mean, people could say, how could you be ratchet? Like, that's just a persona. I'm very educated. I got a college degree. I'm very smart. But I'm vocal. And I'm going to speak up. I'm not afraid to do so. And I think by me doing like these new podcasts or me speaking up more, people respect my take on things. We want to know what Diamond thinks, the Queen of Compton thinks. I had a homegirl the other day call me, my girl Queen Ye, shout out to her, she was in the cypher. She said, Diamond, people really listen to you, like your words are powerful. And I told her I'm afraid of that. You know,
should never be.
I know, but I think that you become a target once you're the powerful voice. You know, so you have to be very strategic how you move.
True, that's the key.
You know, people try to set you up, people try to get next to you to get you. So people don't want to shut you out. They want you to shut up. Now they're saying, who is this girl doing all this yelling on my timeline? That's what they be saying. I think it's so funny. It's me.
Yeah, but now, okay, so, like, when we talking about, you know, the females, and I know I got my opinion. And I think I even commented on your post about what I think it is hard for female rappers in LA. But it's hard for male rappers. The majority of them, you know, you get something to break through.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, and I'm not gonna say, oh, well, because they knew this person. Some just had to put in the work and got the break, and they seized the opportunity.
Right.
But me personally, what I see in Los Angeles now in the music industry, you know, outside of, you know, Blast, you know, even though he's a rapper like R&B singer, Kaylin for real.
Ty Dolla, don't forget Ty Dolla.
Ty Dolla Sign.
He's so dope.
You know, and it's more, but a lot of dudes is getting in it, but it's like I say, like we was talking earlier, it's like a crabs in the barrel type of thing going on.
Yeah.
You know, on top of the gang aspect getting thrown in, which is already divisive.
Right.
As soon as you bring that in, that's because now you Crip, you Blood, or you from Hoover, you from this, you from that. So we ain't dealing with you, or this dude don't want to deal with this dude because he don't want the heat from his homies for dealing with them and so forth. But you had people like Game, Nipsey Hussle. They wasn't tripping on none of that.
Yeah.
If you was doing what they was doing and you was doing something to elevate yourself, they was fucking with you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Even Hit Boy, you know, even though he ain't a gang member.
Yeah.
But you know, he dealt people say, oh, well, he's from Pasadena.
Yeah.
How's he dealing with
his dad? Shout out Big Hit. I got a record with him on my album.
You know, and I know Big Hit.
Yeah.
We was young, you know, before he went to prison and all that.
Yeah.
I've held Hit Boy in my hands.
What?
Yeah, look, I've held him in my arms, you know, when the family stayed on Mar Vista.
Yeah.
But and his uncle was part of the group troop, you know, so I knew all that. But what I'm saying is, he paved his way now to be who he is.
Wow.
But
shout out Hit Boy. He has a versus tonight. That's crazy.
And
we want to be watching it right now, but we here.
Right.
No, but I'm happy we here.
I did want to, with him and Will, I did want to watch that.
We're going to see it. It's going to be on YouTube. Yeah.
But, yeah, and it seems to me like in LA right now, and because I was also talking to on one of my other episodes with my guy Gio about a distillery. There's a distillery right here in Los Angeles, and ain't getting no real love from the LA family out here. You know, like, here's a great liquor.
Now, for those, okay, I'm gonna say for those who don't know, who's watching, they should know, but the distillery is liquor.
Yeah, distillery is a liquor place. They make vodka, gin. This specific one called Lofton Beer makes vodka, gin. But it's like they having a hard time breaking through because all these other brands are getting in. People want the Hennessy, they want that. And this liquor is just as good with a good price.
Yes.
How is LA, the city of LA, with this, the only real distillery in Los Angeles?
Wow.
Nobody's really grabbing. I mean, they in some certain spots. He's in Fixins and some other spots. But I'm like, they should be getting way more traction.
And what is it called again? Say it
it's
again.
called Lofton Bear.
The
Lofton Bear Distillery.
Gotcha.
It's right in downtown Los Angeles, on the edge of downtown Los Angeles. And Gio is the master distiller and now part owner. But I'm just saying, and it seems like that's the mindset in LA right now.
Don't fuck with your own.
Yeah, like
fuck with everybody else but LA.
We're not gonna give unless you already somebody, we not supporting you.
Right.
You know, unless you can't help me, I'm not.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, it's like let's all help each other in any way
Wow.
we can, and that's how it should be. But it's
Right.
not like that for some reason.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Just LA not supporting their own, but this gang stuff. I want to go back to that because that's very important with music. Because I said on my homeboy Shorty Mac, shout out Shorty Mac, Talk to Me, he has this podcast as well. I did an interview with them and I was speaking to them about gangbang and music and how it's becoming infused.
Right.
When I push my line, I don't push, I'm a Crip, I'm a Blood. No. The Queen of Compton stands for the city of Compton.
Right.
The roses that grew through the concrete. The ones that went to college and overcame. The single mamas that raised their babies and it was hard for them. You know, the guys that made it through, maybe went to prison or maybe didn't, but still, you know, came through and made it. That's what the Queen of Compton represents. So when people want to know, what section are you from? Where are you from? I'm from Compton, California. Well, where did you grow up at? I grew up in the swamps. OSCC. I'm affiliated because that's where I was born. Those are my people. But what I will not allow you to do is to separate me and put me in a box because I have Pyru family members, Blood family members from LA. I got people in the Bay. My Watts family is over there in the Bay. Y'all not going to do that to me. I do believe, and you made a great point earlier, that when you claim a section, it puts you in a box. I don't do that. But the crazy part is, even if you don't, they try to use that to politic on you. Well, since you're not from nowhere, you're not blasting where you're from, then, you know, all these people that is claiming or are claiming where they from gonna go up against you and try to make it seem like you're not even from here. Yo, you understand I'm not from here because I'm not throwing up C's or B's and telling you where I'm from. I just told you I'm from Compton, California.
Right.
So if I'm not from here, please let me know where I'm from because I'm so confused. Since you know more about me than me, goddammit, where am I from?
Yeah,
you know?
But see, I get it in a way because over 40 years, even more so probably, but at least 40, everybody in the Los Angeles, LA County area, everything has been about the gang culture, what part of LA do you live, where you live at, what city you live in, what street, you know, it's been that. Yeah. And that's blacks, Hispanics, even Asians at this point now. Right. So, you know.
They're not going to force my narrative. I'm sorry.
No, and they shouldn't. You shouldn't. You
I know what it's been about, but that has to change.
You battle that. And I would say to those out there, you know, I feel y'all trying to bring shed some light on your hood, but you got to do better. You got to do better than just shedding light on your hood and bringing the same violence to this industry where people is trying to make it.
Right.
And you getting there. I've heard in the last year how many deaths of some very talented rappers from LA, from whether he was from Main Street, A-Trade, Hoover, Denver Lane, whatever. Blood Hoods, Crip Hoods. And it's sad. Right. It's really sad. And I'm not going to say, and I'm speaking because I was also involved in that same culture. Yeah. You know? But I never said to myself, okay, yeah, I'm going to bring my set and put my set on. I never looked at it like, when I be successful, I said, no, I want to be successful so I can go back to my hood with this success, right, and help others shed that light.
But you can't, because guess why? Rest in peace to the realest, Nipsey Hussle. But he tried that. Look at what happened. Right. The envy that it breeds when you're successful. You got to get it and get out. Because the crab in the barrel shit. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. LA is an envious city. It is so envious. If you are trying to do something with your life, they will hate you. If you are trying to be better and make your community, they will hate you. You have to be very careful because when you're doing good, they will hate you and they will kill you.
I just think like me personally, you know, like individual, I'm sure it's individuals from my hood that say, oh, well, he doing this, but I got major support.
Yes, that's great.
I'm out of Altadena.
Yes.
But I can almost go anywhere, in any hood.
Right.
You know, because I'm not bringing the mentality of I'm not coming disrespectful, number one.
Right.
Because I'm always giving the next hood respect,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you respect me.
Right.
You know. And at the same time, I feel like I got support from my area,
Mm-hmm.
but it ain't just about my area.
Yeah.
If I'm going to help whoever I can help along the way, who's going to get in line
That's
with
right.
what I'm trying to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whether it's my homie.
Shovon, get you some of your drink. Why you talking? Get you.
Oh, no, I'm going to get when I get thirsty, girl.
Look, I want to go bad with you. Come on now. We got to celebrate.
Yeah, we can toast. Oh, my bad.
It's okay, yeah.
But let me take a quick sip, though.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to loosen up a bit. We ain't going to keep this all caught. We got ratchets watching. We got hood niggas watching. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got everybody.
Yes.
No, we got everybody. I'm not, there's nobody excluded from this.
That's right.
From
This is Grind
this
LA.
podcast.
So y'all, tap in.
But like I said, the reason for me even doing this platform is to push more positivity.
Yeah.
You know, we got enough platforms that's talking about what's going on in the hood, who said this, who snitched on who. That ain't what I'm about.
Jumper.
I live that life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I live that life. I know what it's about.
Yeah.
And I got standards. But me, personally, I grew up in a time where we didn't talk about what was going on in the street.
So this is new. This is weird to you.
Yeah,
new.
this is very weird to me. And I see some people that I know doing it, but I'm like,
wow.
Hey, that's y'all done got caught up
but
in this.
But people was going to jail.
Right. Right. And this is not cool. And I'm just like, man, look, it's already, the ball is already rolling.
Right.
And no one man can stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but hey, it's just something I'm not gonna do.
Right.
I'm not gonna talk about who I hate, who I dislike from this hood or that hood. I can't.
Can I ask you, I know you've been tapped in. Where did this really, where did it originate from? Who was it? No Jumper. Where did this kind of shit?
I'm not gonna say it was no jumper. Social media just
in general,
and then these podcasts just latched on. They seen how much traction, how much people were talking about this negativity
that makes sense.
about who was from who, and it's not just from LA. It was from whether it's from Detroit, Chicago, New York. You know, when people heard. But really, what it was, I think it stems from the fact of the East Coast West Coast beef back to Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah,
and then social media played a part, and then it just. People seen, oh shit, if I could talk about this, I didn't even get where people start showing guns on social media. I got guns.
That was crazy.
I never got that. So you crazy. Basically giving the script to people that this is what I'm doing.
Right. So come get me, please.
Come get me.
I'm ready to go.
And then you turn around and say somebody told on.
Right. You snitched on your damn self, but you're saying that it's snitches.
Yeah. I just don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. And plus, I just seen over the years how much. Not to say that now, this time, like the gang culture is just, it is messed up. Mm-hmm. It is different.
Yeah.
Real different. But, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I understand what these young dudes is going through.
Yeah.
Misguided. Mm-hmm. You know.
No dad or maybe mom.
You know,
mom
so they just doing what they know how to do and how to survive. And they survive and have it, and they trying to get on.
Because the gangs be their family.
Right.
If and they ain't got none.
They want to get out of the hood, but at the same time, you got the pressure. Yeah. And they trying to do their career. Right. And I'm still connected to these dudes, so I gotta represent the hood. Right. And dudes are telling you, how you gonna do the song? You ain't representing the hood. Right. You know, you can rep your hood like Snoop Dogg. Yeah. But your homies gotta understand, man, look, I'm trying to make it so I can pull y'all up with me. Right. So we can figure out what we gonna do.
But you can't do that, Shovon.
You might.
Because I'm gonna tell you, you pull them up, they want more.
That's true.
And they think they supposed to have the same amount of money in their bank account that you got in yours without doing anything to contribute or help. You know, they want to sit there and ride. Mm-hmm. So I get what you're saying, but I find it hard for a gang, a person that's in a gang to be a shining star on their own because the jealousy and the envy is gonna come with it. Because niggas think you owe them everything and you don't owe them nothing. Right. And they're going to be angry with you. They will kill you.
Oh, they will. They do that. It seems like the people from your own area hate you more than people outside. And I've seen that. Right. I don't know why it stems that way, why it happens that way. And that's something I probably would never be able to explain other than the people you had to go talk to the people that hate. Right. On the people.
Because you ain't no hater, so you don't understand that.
Yeah. I ain't never hated on a dude. If I see a dude doing something that's positive, man, even if you my worst enemy, I'm gonna dap you up. because I see you trying to do something different for your life, to build for you, your family, I'm going to dap you up. You know, I'm like, okay, I see you. We may not be best of friends or super cool, but I'm not going to be like, I'm going to hate on this dude.
Right.
You know, but that's just what it is now. And we got to navigate through that.
You do.
You know, and you got to learn how to navigate. You got to surround yourself with people you know is genuine. Yeah. People you know that got love for you, not just latching on for your fame or whatever, for whatever you doing, or just to be around other people. I know dudes that they be around their homies like just to see who they can get.
Oh, wow.
In the process.
Right.
You know?
That's crazy.
Which leaves a bad name on the person who's doing their thing and brings them in.
It does. So you gotta be careful.
Really be cautious about the people you bring in to your circle and welcome them into somebody else's circle.
But I did want to talk about, okay, so if you're a gang member or you're in LA, they want you to be attached to some gang. If you are an artist, you just might want to be an artist and you don't want to push that. That's why I respect Compton AV, because Compton AV is someone that represents, well, you know, he's, I don't want to say where he's from, because he's not from nowhere, but his people are from. Right. You know, he got his brothers a blood. So it's both sides. He represents both sides. And I think that's where a lot of his success comes from. He didn't have to, just like Kendrick, we know Kendrick is tapped in with who he's tapped in with, but he don't be getting on wax like, oh yeah, and throwing up sign sets and stuff like that. I think that when you do that, you put yourself in a box and you can't be mad at nobody when you do that. Right. Now, for me, it's dangerous, or not just me, for all of us it's dangerous, but for me who don't even like be doing all that, when people, LA people are haters. They don't understand certain cultures. I'm one of the first female battle rappers on the West Coast. Okay? Battle rap is an art, but battle rap is very disrespectful.
Yeah, you're talking about people.
You're talking about people. You're talking about people. You're talking about dead people. But you got to be careful. And that's something that I've never done, because that's just not what I do. You're talking about people, kids. Like, you talking about people exes. You talking about people's diseases or being homeless. You're talking about some very deep stuff. But you have to have the mindset for the culture of battle rap to not take it personal.
That's the key.
Now, the only thing you might take personal, if I said, Shovon, I'm getting ready to get evicted out this place. Nobody knows us. I'm only telling you. Boom. All right? And then I'm battling this bitch. It's like, yeah, bitch, that's why you about to get evicted. And it's like, yeah,
that's different.
Why you battling them? You like, the only person I said this to was Shovon. You feel betrayal in the moment that the person say that. So you're like, in battle rapping, you got to save face. This bitch know about some personal things that I only told Shovon. And in that moment, you cannot get angry and say, fuck this battle. You got to keep your mind in the game, although Shovon has betrayed you. And you got to deal with that later. That's just an example, because that's just an example so you can feel how it is. That's a part of battle rap. Now, with gangbanging and rap out here, it's infused. And I'm a battle rapper, so when I be spitting bars, I just be spitting bars that make sense, metaphors, boom. Certain people will swear to God, that's about them, that's about their family. What is wrong with you? You don't understand the art form of battle rap, you don't understand the art for the bars, or you're just obsessed. This song is not about you. I may say one line that's taking a little shot, but this whole song is not about you. And there's certain things in the song that's not about you. Right. They want to take that and say, oh, she said this and that, let's gang up on her. Oh, she said this and that, let's shoot her. She got to get up out of here. No, nigga, stop. So music and gangbanging is one thing, but imagine battle rap. But just like my homeboy told me, he said, Diamond, stop being committed to explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. They know what it is. They don't like you. Right. It don't matter how much you talk. You could be saying stealing is wrong. And they know that stealing is wrong. But because you said it, they not fucking with it. And they gonna flip it and make it seem like stealing is right just because you said stealing is wrong. You know? So I have to say that, and I want to clear the record. I'm clearing all type of records. Songs are not about specific people that think that. Like, I just be spitting bars, throwing them out. You have to be obsessed to really just stand there and say, oh, I want to be the target. She's talking to me. You're crazy. But I don't want to be like, oh, she's from here, she's from there. I wouldn't even be able to be a battle rapper. I wouldn't even be. They want to use everything I say in battle rap or in rap and hold it against me to try to cause harm.
Yeah,
So
well,
I have to be careful.
Yeah, you do. I mean,
Which is not fair because it's art. And if you understand the form of art in battle rap, you wouldn't even get upset.
Mm-hmm.
I will never say fuck no dad.
Mm-hmm.
In battle rap, there are people who say that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, it's just not my character to say that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they said that about it. They said, oh, she said this. I would never say it. It's not my character. It's not, just like you said earlier, you said, no, Diamond, you would have compassion.
Yeah, I know you.
Facts.
Yeah. That's because I know you.
People know me.
Right.
But the ones that don't.
Is going to know that.
Right.
But those who don't know you.
Right.
You know, and then, come on, we live in a society where it's super sensitive.
Right.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, people that look for a reason to hate other people, they gonna always say this is about me.
Yeah.
You know, when people look, they look for a reason.
They be looking for it.
Yeah. So and you gonna have that forever for the rest of your life.
Scary. But out here it's scary because the jealousy mixed with people looking for it can get you erased.
It can, but at the same time, that's why it's certain things, like I tell you, it's certain things you got to change. Like for me personally, I've changed my circle.
Yeah.
And I knew that's what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got to change my circle. It's not that I don't have no love for them, but we not doing the same thing. We not doing so I'm going to keep it on this positive, and I'm going to keep it on. If you're not falling in line with that, not that I don't got no love for you.
But I got to deal with you from back here.
Yeah, but I got to keep a distance.
Right.
Because that's not what I'm doing. Because if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to do that full-fledged.
Right.
What you doing
Ain't no
over there.
one foot in and one foot out.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm over here, and I'm doing this, and I'm trying to create something, not just for me, or for my family, but I'm trying to be somebody. I spent a lot of time in my life hurting society. So now I'm so dedicated in how can I help?
Right.
How can I be a fix in society in some way? How can I do my part?
Yes.
And that's what I'm doing now.
That's amazing.
I'm trying to do it as best as possible.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's just 5 or 6 people that I influence.
Right.
That's enough for me.
You're doing good.
Because they going to do it. What I give them, they going to do it to the people that they run across.
Right.
You know. But it's sad that, you know, that you got to battle that. But I'm going to say this to you. Do it with no fear.
Gotcha.
You got to do it with no fear. You got to keep doing you, building what you building, the Cypher House. You got a purpose. You got your passion. Stick to it. Just keep doing it. Like I told you, when you, with the haters, when you give them no feedback, they fall off. They fall off because you give them no fuel, you give them no fire. Right. If you give them the fire, if they get your reaction, and that's probably just something a part of you that's gonna have to grow. Yeah. But you gotta give it. You gotta say to yourself, okay, look, if it's not a shot at your character, right? If it's not a shot at your family, right, or your personal life, right? Pay that shit no mind.
So if it's a shot at your brand,
even at your brand is established. Right. You got that.
I do.
Just keep pushing that. Right. Your brand is gonna speak for itself.
So what about if somebody started a podcast called Grind LA and their name was Shovon Walker, spelt with a C?
I'm going we gonna say something. But I'm not gonna make it a.
I got you.
But
what if they keep?
No, we gonna take legal action.
Okay, so that's what I meant. I should have did that, and it wouldn't even been all.
I'm gonna take legal action. Yeah, and I'm gonna let that be it.
Got you.
I don't got time to be going back and forth with
That's
you.
real.
I got too much other stuff to do.
Right.
So I'm gonna take legal action. Okay, I'm gonna have the team. We gonna check it out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they copied us, man. We gotta get rid of that.
Get rid of that.
Let's take the legal action and let's keep it moving.
I should have did that. Should have. Took action, being that I created the title, which was a title at first, from battle rap to philanthropy work to the Cypher House and everything else. I built my name, the Queen of Compton. People from Compton or LA think you can't call yourself that, which I did this 10 years ago. You can't call yourself the Queen of Compton. Mind you, these people are just came around or something. Oh, you can't call yourself that. I been did it, bitch. I been that. What you mean I can't? You telling me something I can't do that? I been did already. You can't call yourself that. The city has to name you that. You can't say it's your name and it's a brand. It's not a brand, it's a title. How you gonna tell me what the fuck it is and I'm the one created the title?
Right.
Nobody on this planet ever called themselves the Queen of Compton before I did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did Google. There were Queens of Compton, which is dope.
Mm-hmm.
It was a rap group. They were older than us. I was young. I didn't know that until I trademarked my name.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if I would have done it like that, like you said, just handled it legally from the jump, certain individuals wouldn't have been able to get clout off of it and whatever. But I felt like I just wanted it to go away because it's like you're stopping me or you're trying to stop me from what I'm doing. I'm busy. I'm grinding. Like, you come out of nowhere with this shit.
Let me say this. This is something I've learned. That when you in this lane, you got to do what that lane does.
Right.
When you in this lane, you do what that lane does.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying to really build something. Mm-hmm. You don't got time. We can't take the same street mentality.
Right.
And say, okay, yeah, this two girls on one side of the street.
Yeah.
She's saying this, you saying that. Okay, well, what we finna do?
Right.
We can't do that.
Right.
That's not gonna work for you.
Mm-hmm. Not for me. It works for them.
It's not gonna work for you.
Right.
Because you trying to build something, and then there's other people depending on you to keep building.
Facts. That's facts.
So that's why now you got, like what you said, you gotta have to strategize.
Yes.
And that's gonna be part of your strategy. You gotta say, okay, look, you got my name, you pushing this. I'm not caring what you talking about because legally, this is my name.
It's my name.
I'm not asking for no permission from nobody.
Yeah.
You think Dr. Dre asked anybody for permission?
Mm-hmm.
The city of Compton didn't name Dr. Dre Dr. Dre.
Right.
But he owned that name.
Yeah, that's him.
Because I'm in this lane.
Right.
And I'm going to establish this name. Mm-hmm. Nobody else going to be able to use that name. You can say Dre, but you ain't going to use Dr. Dre.
Period.
Right. And that's with anybody. When you get in that lane, and then you got to take those actions.
Yeah.
Now the streets will say, oh yeah, they change. Yeah. Because I'm trying to change my whole trajectory.
Period.
And my leveling.
Right.
I'm not on this level no
at
more.
All.
Whether it's financially or whether it's mentality,
Period.
I'm trying to be up here.
Up here.
And I'm trying to get there.
Period. And when you up there and you trying to get there, I'm hearing, oh, you guys should battle rap for the name, or you guys should fight. First of all, I have established myself up here. I don't have to battle rap or fight for nothing that I already own. Mm-hmm. That's not going to do me any favors. That's going to be doing the other individual favors.
Right.
I'm not doing that. I owe you people nothing. Mm-hmm. I don't want nothing to do with the mentality. Mm-hmm. What I don't like about the high road that I'm taking is if this individual say, let's fight. Why? Because I'm going to fight if you disrespect, like if you put your hands on my kid or you slap my mama, it's war. And I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to run to a fight. I'm not running from a fight and I'm not running to a fight. Mm-hmm. If you really bold and you run up on me, you're going to suffer the consequences in some self-defense. Right. I'm not finna do any of that. Mm-hmm. I'm up here. And it's not because I'm scared at all. Mm-hmm. Like you just said, you choose your lane. Mm-hmm. I don't want what you people got going on. That is lower level, low vibrational, ghetto, pathetic, desperate measures. Mm-hmm. You want to fight to cause havoc, to get attention, to get clout off, making me look and bringing me down from where I'm at to be on I can't do that. Mm-hmm. So I want people to understand it has nothing to do with being afraid physically. I'm afraid of what I will do and lose. Mm-hmm. I will lose everything that I work for. I'm not going to let nobody trick me on my spot. That's scared of you for what?
That's right.
I'm scared of going to jail if you play with me. Mm-hmm. Like, you think it's just going to be a regular, it's not going to be that. And then certain things like where we from, it's not going to be one fight. It'll be war for real. And being who I am, the Queen of Compton, I don't stand for, I can't allow that to happen. So I'm not a coward. I'm just smart.
That's what you got.
I'm strategic.
Listen, I used to tell people all the time, it's not about being the hardest dude. Gotta be smart. Mm-hmm. You gotta be the smartest. The smartest ones are the ones who truly survive.
Period.
The hardest dudes, you know how they coming. Mm-hmm. So people is plotting on them.
Oh man.
To take them down, even when they not doing nothing to nobody. They like, because we know if something does happen, how this person coming.
Right. They're gonna be angry, talking about gangs and go get them. And
right. But when we got the smartest person, you're gonna think around all that.
Oh God.
I'm thinking of past that. because that's not my goal.
Right.
My goal is not to be in this war with you.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to get this money. My goal is to establish my brand and build my brand so I can do whatever I'm planning on doing.
And that's what kills me, because you didn't, Shovon, you didn't go through everything you went through in your life and get through it to become who you are right now, to lose it to a fucking goofy.
Right.
It has nothing to do with, like, people will try to try you. You know what you're capable of. You've already done that. That's why you like, man, look, I know what can happen if I tap into the beast.
Right.
I'm not going to allow you to do that. You don't got no power control over me. Why would I work this hard putting together ciphers, doing philanthropy work for the community, battle rapping, going hard for music for all these years? When I was a little girl, I dreamed to be a rapper because I wanted to get my family out the ghetto and help my mama get a house. And I wanted to live the good life like the white people did, period. And I said I was going to do that. I didn't know you. Well, I didn't have in mind, I want to be a rapper to beef with this girl or this guy for the rest of my life. No. So why would I allow that now? I've been grinding too hard to be in a constant beef and battle with you. Leave me alone.
That's why you
and leave my name alone and go about your business.
That's why you
and go build your shit like I built mine. Right. And then I'll respect you. Sarah Jack, she's a pastor. She's I don't know if they call women pastors, but she's dope.
They're pastors.
Yeah, she's a pastor. And she was basically saying, you can copy everything that I've done. She said, go ahead. She said, but you don't get the oil. The oil is sold separately. Because you get the oil when you go through the process. You can steal the name. You can steal whatever you want to steal from me. But the reason of what makes me that is because of everything I went through to get there.
Right.
You can try to prematurely say that, but you don't know what's going to come with this. You're not even prepared for it. You think you want that. You think you want to be the Queen of Compton? You don't even know what I got to go through. You don't even know what it takes. People don't have no clue. You know what I'm saying? So, but
this is the culture we see, and this is what I want you to understand. This is the culture we live in right now. People are. I seen a verses the other day. It was some rapper, and it was these young dudes came in. They came in aggressive though. They was on him, and he was calm. He was like, "Man, what's that about?" He like, "Man, why y'all being so angry?" He like, "Man, look, this is what I'm gonna do for y'all." He like, "Man, y'all don't even got to do all that. I'm not even on that type of time." He like, "Man, I brought y'all in here for whatever, but is that what y'all want? But now y'all trying to be disrespectful. You want some violence with me? I don't want no violence." He like, "Man, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pray for y'all." But and he walked up on him. He like, "Man, y'all don't got to do all that to get no shine. I'm going to give you the shine. Y'all here with me.
Wow.
I'm going to give you the shine, but you don't got to do where I'm from and tripping and all that."
Wow.
Y'all here for a reason, right?
Right.
So let's get to that reason. I know y'all didn't come here to beef with me.
Right.
But for some reason, y'all want to do that. And that woke me. I was like, man,
that's
why
crazy.
These young dudes be...
And it ain't that he was scared. He walked up on him with prayer,
he wasn't scared. He was like, man, I see better for y'all.
Wow.
I can give y'all opportunities that you want. But you can't
that approach?
You can't get it that way.
Nah, you can't get it
that way.
So
you want to get some likes or something off me to say, this go viral so people look at you.
You press me like...
When I can open the doors for y'all. I'm the one right now who can open the door for y'all, but y'all coming at me sideways. And he went and shook their hands, and then his partner, they was like, "Oh, you need security." He's like, "Nah, I don't need security. I ain't asked for security." But anyway, and he walked up to him and talked to him, and they listened.
Wow.
And they was like, "You know what? Yeah." And then, to me, but that's what a lot of these young dudes do now.
Not just the dudes.
Not the young. I'm not.
Just not the dudes. It's the girls too.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna even just say young, because you got some ignorant. Older people too.
Yeah.
That's just stuck in a certain mentality. But
and that's a broke-minded mentality. You will not go nowhere.
Yeah.
You don't. And we only do that in our community amongst one another. That's why we can't sit with the white people. I'm being honest. Like this, let's fight, let's do this, or let's game that. I'm sorry, but we're gonna be stuck right here where the fuck we're at. I'm not trying to take shots at gangs. I fuck with y'all. I fuck with everybody.
Right.
But they need to understand that the gang shit, the violence, the aggressive approach, that's for the broke. We gonna stay broken in this little vicinity, and we're not getting out of here.
It's deep. It's deep, and that's why I understand it, because it's a deep thing. Because in the hood, and like I say, it's not just blacks, it's Hispanics just as well, and it's even some white areas that when you broken and all you see is certain things and all you know is certain things and all you know is how to cope with things is violence and approaching it a certain way, that's what you're gonna do. Anytime you feel disrespected and sometimes it don't even be disrespected, it's just that your ego got hurt.
Right.
And you take it as disrespect. But it probably wasn't even meant that way. And you get angry and want to fight and want to tear some. I see now more days, so many people is toxic for nothing, for the smallest of things. But it's just because people don't know how to cope.
Right.
They haven't been, we wasn't taught the skills we're not being taught them skills of how to cope with certain things. It's been in the hoods for so long. People have tried to bring the youth boxing, sports, or whatever. But if you're not in that everyday home to teach them the skills of how to cope with things, that's what they're gonna do. That's why I understand part of it. Oh, I don't like it.
Right.
But I was once that way.
I understand that.
At the same time, when I approach, I'm looking at like who in here that I can get, why this dude looking at me because I don't know him.
Right.
But then I learned, it's been a process learning.
Yeah.
But,
and growing too, maturity.
Yeah. And I'm growing.
And knowing that you don't have a point to prove it. Yeah, I've already done all that. I know what I can do.
Right.
That's just not the kind of road that I'm on, But yeah.
What I really want to get into though too is how much you do in the community. Yeah. That's important.
Thank you.
Because people don't understand, like, they hear your name and like, nah, she a rapper. No, I want to let them know how much you're doing. Because I wanted to get involved this year.
With the Feed the Streets.
Yeah, with the Feed the Streets.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to do it. I should have just hit you up.
Yeah, because you would have been all up in there with us.
Yeah. So what is that? What is that Feed the Streets? What is that about?
So Feed the Streets, okay, so I gotta be all the way honest because I just want to be all real. Like, I remember a year, one of my homeboys, Eddie Linton, shout out Eddie Linton, he was doing this thing where he was feeding the homeless and he gathered some people and I volunteered. At that time, my father had just passed and I was supposed to move to Atlanta with my dad and my son. And I had put in a 30-day notice to move. And within that time, my father died. So I was homeless. My son and I was homeless. My dad had passed. So that was one of the roughest times that I've ever been through. Like one of the roughest times, being homeless, burying my father, living with different people. No matter how many people I let live with me, when I lived with them, and I treated them fairly and comfortably. When I lived with them, it was just like so uncomfortable. I would sleep in my car and just get drunk and cry because my dad passed and I took him off life support. But in the midst of that, Eddie Linton was feeding the homeless and I volunteered. And that's why I even have in one of my verses when I was saying like I fed the homeless even though I was homeless. I had all my clothes and shoes in the back of my truck. I had a little Blazer at the time, 1992 Chevy Blazer. Started up without the key. I never forget that car. Yeah. That was one of my favorite cars.
Really?
And I knew right after that car I was gonna get something better. But I had that car, and in those times I never forget the car that I slept in. I never forget the people that was there for me. It was a very scary, hurtful time when my father passed and taking him off life support, being homeless in the streets, having nowhere to go, my little son with me. I sent him with my mother and I handled it on my own, but I brought my son with me when we fed the homeless. And although I was homeless, feeding them felt like that was something that I was supposed to do. And so ever since that day that I volunteered, I said, I'm going to do this again. And I'm going to keep it going. So I did it one year with my godbrother, Seymour Green, rest in peace. I love my godbrother. Shout out to him. May he rest well. I did it with him, and I just wanted to keep it going. And I just kept it going ever since. And I feel like serving is a part of me. When I get depressed, like when I get in my depressed modes, it's usually when things are all about me. Like me. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do that. When I escape depression, it's usually when it is, what can I do for others? What can I do to serve? And when I get out of my selfish mode, which I'm not a selfish person, but I find myself in depressive modes when I'm thinking about me, and so that's how I started, how I wanted to do it. And the Compton City movement is, something that we started, me and my brother, Mad Dre, where we wanted to shed light on the talent in Compton and just different things in Compton. So our slogan is it's deeper than music, it's a movement. So shout out Compton City Movement. So we just said, fuck it, man, let's go down here and do this every year. The first one was small, it was dope, it was so great. I see how many people that they wanna give.
Get involved.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, boom. The second year was cool. The third year was lit. The fourth year was like, oh shit.
Something.
Yeah, but this year, which was the fifth year in 2025, December, it was magical. That's when I knew, Diamond, your voice is strong. Do a call to action. Invite people. If you cannot donate food or shoes or clothes or blankets, donate your talent. We're going to add talent this year. So the people that are not able, the people on Skid Row that are not able to go to concerts, let's put one on for them. This year, last year, well, I say this year, the recent one, Feed the Street 5, I orchestrated it. I got the insurance for the park. We did it in the park. Homeboy Industries, Homeboy Threads. They always donate shoes, blankets, clothes, suitcases every year. And I go in there, they're like, Diamond, whatever you want. They love me. So they just like, whatever you want. I get a U-Haul every year, me and my bro, and we go pick up, we go around to everybody, okay, you got some clothes, we're gonna be on our way. And this year, like, so many people want to get involved. I think people promote beef a lot, but I don't think they promote giving and great things a lot. This one lady just passed. Her name is Shirley. She does the stuff on Skid Row, and she's just amazing. She was a black lady. She just passed.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she just passed. So shout out to her. Now, when people like her pass away, people like me got to keep it going, and then we got to keep it going. So somebody needs to be watching me to keep it going. Those are the things that don't go viral enough. Like, I've been in the headlines for No Jumper playing games with my name. Me getting into it with Lush One and Almighty Suspect, stupid ass, and just all the beef, But nobody said anything about Feed the Streets that we just did. That all got overshadowed.
Yeah, that happens.
It does. So I find it very, I think it's imperative to promote. People say, why do you film when you're giving people stuff? Why the fuck do you film a fight, bitch?
Right. Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Why do you film a fight?
I work with this organization too called United We Stand, and I remember they did a back to school thing, and they brought for each, the United We Stand brings different gang members who have some say so in their neighborhoods. Hoovers, Swans, a little bit of everybody. East Coasters, Kitchens, a little bit of everybody. Was in there, and everybody did something in their own hood. And it's a pastor who started with and another Doc Tone from East Coast. But anyway, they started this organization, and that was one of the main things we was talking about the media, whether they would show up, stop this violence. No violence. It's just goodness giving. These gang members is giving goodness into the neighborhood, to their own neighborhoods, and it was all over spots in L.A. And the media that wasn't on the 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
If it's a shooting, it's going to be on.
and that's the difference. But that's what it takes for us to take it amongst ourselves to put those things out there. Now that we have social media, we have a little more control of what goes on. Make sure we document that and put it out there so that we don't always just get this negative narrative.
So you control your own narrative.
Yeah, so we can have a little control or at least combat the negative narrative. To say, no, we doing this too. This is not all bad over here. You know what I'm saying? So and I think that's what with those situations, that's what has to come. And you got to start which ends up putting the pressure on the media because they ain't got the story.
They don't.
They like, oh, this wild. It got viral, and we didn't have no part.
Right. We didn't
powers that be gonna be like, well, why y'all didn't get that? How we didn't cover that?
Right.
It went viral.
Right.
And we missed that.
Right.
Right. That was just gonna put the pressure on them to start saying, hey, okay, we coming out. We gonna film that.
We gonna film.
Even though they might be filming for hoping to see something happen, a fight, but we ain't gonna let that. Like at the Martin Luther King parade this year.
Oh my God.
And it's sad, but you see the news.
Oh my God.
On the news, they made sure they put the fight.
Yeah.
But
who do we blame? Them that want to capture it or the people that gave them a reason to capture it?
It both is at fault in that sense. Because these people just bringing the news.
You know why? Because they didn't. There was a lot of great things that happened at that parade,
Right, and that's
but they didn't
not
cover
being
that.
told.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's the part. You know, that was just a little pocket of something.
Right, because there was a lot of stuff.
They made that seem like this is what's going on the whole parade.
But that happened. They did it last year. Last year was crazy. I think I hate that our people prepare. Not they wait. That, okay, yeah, at the Martin Luther King parade we gonna do it because it was a year they went to McDonald's and put the smash down. I'm like, damn, like. I don't know. I don't want to speak on that because it's so big. Like, where do I begin speaking on that? Like, is it the mothers of these kids that's going to McDonald's smashing shit up, doing all this embarrassing? Are they not listening in history class? Know what we went through and why are we doing this at a Martin Luther King parade? I don't know. And I don't want to sound all boring either, you know, because I am from LA. I mean, not LA, but like LA County, Compton.
Right.
Like, this is where we're from. So I understand gang culture and stuff like that. But ignorance is just like, come on, man. We got to hold ourselves.
On days like that,
it just shouldn't have never happened.
It should be a cease.
Don't wait and say Martin Luther King fought hard for us. So on his day, we finna go act a fool and get on the news for all the wrong things. Right. And another thing that and it's crazy, the power of media. When I first went to college, I went to college for music. But I was like, I already know this. And I got so many credits in music. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I switched it to media because of the power in controlling your own narrative or a narrative. And that's why I got my degree in media. So I think media is very powerful. I think that like even Trump knows it. That's why he arrested Don Lemon today. People with a voice, people that could provoke an uprising against the people that are not, you know, representing us as a whole. The people that are still constantly oppressing us and keeping us down, you know, a modern day oppression is different things, you know. For them to arrest Don Lemon today, they were trying to make a statement about our freedom of press, which I think is a scary thing. They arrested this one lady for filming. What she saw. ICE operations. That's a scary thing. So the power of media is significant, and they know that. So I don't know. We were just speaking about how narratives can be flipped and painted. So media is a very powerful tool.
It is.
And if you use it correctly, you get. Well, I mean, people use it however they want to, but messages are conveyed through media, whichever way you would like to spin it. It could be dangerous or it could be beautiful.
This is why I don't like. I have social media. You know, and I try my best not to put anything negative on it.
Yeah.
You know. Whether I'm going through negative things or whatever, I try not. I say, nah, I'm not gonna put that. I'm not gonna put that on my social media. That's my personal thing, or that's not what I want to convey to people.
Right.
You know. So I try. You know, I've seen situations that I've recorded and had to, you know, been in situations, but I'm like, I ain't gonna throw that on my social media.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not doing none of that because I gotta stay. If I'm gonna say I'm positive, that's what I'm gonna put out.
Period.
I'm going to put something out. I may say certain things that I may be going through negative. I may put a quote, you know, and you may feel it, but you may not know exactly what's going on, but you feel what I'm saying. Like, or you might understand what I'm saying. Like, okay, yeah, he going through something.
Right.
You know, but that's it.
That's it.
Because I'm going to let it touch you however it touches you.
Right.
You know, but you're not going to have my full story on that. You know, because I ain't going to do it.
I get that.
But, my thing is like, and another reason why, like I said, I started this podcast, or we started this podcast, is because there's so many people out here doing good and trying to build their dreams in this, not just the city of Los Angeles, but in LA County, period, that don't get enough exposure, or nobody knows what they're doing, or nobody knows the struggles they're battling to keep those dreams going.
Wow.
You know, paying, whether it's the bills or the trauma, losing lives, you know, all that, and they still grinding.
Still grinding.
And that's what I want to say. I want to ask you, you know, in moments, you kind of hinted to some of it, what I'm about to ask, but what keeps you going when things get hard, when you feel like, okay, they're getting in the way of me? But I got this passion for this. How do you keep going?
I think back to the first quote that you read. I've already been through, I don't want to say the roughest because it can always get bad or worse, but I've already been through tough times. I've already been there. I'm not going to allow you to keep me there. I don't want to be here.
Right.
I don't want to be oppressed. I don't want to be discouraged. I don't want to be sad. I want to get the fuck up out of this type of energy, and I'm going to. When I think back to my past, that is my reason. When I think, honestly, I'll never forget my little sister Mercedes, my baby, my favorite. She says, I say, you know, Mercedes, because people don't know this about me. They just think that I'm just like so tough, and I'm just like, oh, she got it. I cry a lot. I'll be on social media going crazy, and I get on my knees and fall and pray to God. Like, Lord, please, like, mentally help me stay strong with this. Nothing that these people say or do or try to discourage me or move the goalpost and take away my credibility. Oh, we don't know you, you're not cracking enough. Nothing they can say is ever going to make me feel like I'll give up. Nothing. All the negativity is what keeps me going. Because I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. I swear to God on my son. I'm going to show you better than you. Because I've already told you why I played basketball. I already told you I felt voiceless. I felt hopeless. I felt like I couldn't do it. That's why I went so hard to do it. I've already escaped that. And then when you are who you are, like a leader or a boss or a successful person, now I'm starting to see that I'm becoming successful. Because when people get on podcasts like No Jumper and say they don't know who I am, why would you make a whole segment about someone you don't know who they are?
Right.
That's crazy. Then I know they know who I am.
Right.
And if they didn't know, they fucking know now. So the fact that they know now, I'm glad. But what keeps me going is when I call my little sister Mercedes, I say, and she knows everything I go through. I send all my music when I first write it to her. She's like, how did you come up with that? I said, I don't know. It just come to me. But I told her, she says, I said, Mercedes, I can't do this. I said, people think they want to be famous or think they want to be known. And like what comes with it is ugly.
It is. It's a lot.
And people think it's just fame. I hear dumb, stupid, weird bitch say, oh, I want fame so bad. Bitch, what are you willing to go through to get it? Like you have to give more than you receive.
But I think that's a misconception for a lot of people. They think it's an easy road. That they see people they it's like your eyes is, I forget that saying. My mom used to always say when I was young. Like I always want more.
Your eyes is bigger than your stomach.
My eyes is bigger than my stomach. Basically, like you know, I see all that, but I can't eat that. I can't handle all that. I'm not even ready for that. They think they can
eat that. You can't eat this. You're not even ready for this.
Yeah, you're not ready for that.
These shoes, you can't fit. You flip. You know how like, like if you got a big brother and you put you a little baby brother, you put your shoes in your feet in his shoes.
You like them shoes, but you can't.
You don't understand them shoes.
Yeah, you're not ready to fit them.
Man, you think you ready? They flopping on your little feet. You look so cute, but you don't understand what it is to walk in those shoes. Niggas we're happy to take these shoes off and throw them to the side for a moment.
Get rid of them.
Just for a moment. So what keeps me going is when I'll never forget what my little sister say. I say, Miss Reyes, I'm done, man. I can't do this. Or I'm not inspired no more, man. I'm done. I've been working for so many years. They don't care. They don't see me. They don't fuck with me. It's over for me. She say, do it for the people who still believe in you. I'll never forget those words. To this day, I always remind her. I say, remember when you said that? And I cried tears. He said, do it for the people who still believe in you. That's like Harriet Tubman marching all these people down to the river and saying, well, I can't get y'all across, so I'm done with this journey.
I'm going to leave y'all right here. Y'all figure it out.
No. If you look back after everything you've been doing and everything you've been through, and people are still there following you, how dare you tell them it's over? Even if you feel like you don't know. They following you. They looking to you.
Yeah, you done took on that responsibility.
You go. You cross that river like Harriet Tubman crossed the fucking river. She probably didn't know what she was doing. There's moments where I freestyle shit. I'd be like, oh shit, we here now. Like after all the blood work, hard sweat and tears, you be like I always used to feel like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make it. Now I feel like I'm here. What I'm gonna do? And I'm a little nervous because there's like so much hate. I think people see it now. People try to keep me down. People try to stop my shit, put roadblock. They cannot. Because if they tell me no, that's fine. But if God says yes, it doesn't matter who tells me no.
Right.
So what keeps me going is the hate, the doubt, the we don't know who you are, the you ain't cracking enough.
Mhm.
That's what keeps me going.
That fuels your fire.
It fuels my fire because I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. Oh, we ain't heard none of your music. What music do you have? First of all, I'm a businesswoman. I'm not just a musician. I got the Cypher House. You heard of that, dummy? That shit got 2 million views for the Kitchen Lamar, not like I ciphers. All my ciphers go viral.
Mhm.
You want to say you don't know who I am? Well, you listen to the Cypher House. I'm not just rapping. I'm getting ready to put my album out finally, but I had to do my duties for others first.
Mhm.
God says it's now your time, and I'm gonna do it. Now I'm gonna do it.
So, I'm gonna ask you this final question. What would you tell other young women that have a similar background, have trauma that they may not have dealt with, you know, and they're trying to make something of themselves, you know, whether it's music, any kind of business, going to college, whatever. Just for some, just getting through life. You know, what would you tell them? How to keep going, basically.
How to keep going. And that's a deep question. I don't usually be lost for words. How to keep going is tough, depending on people's situations.
What for you?
But for me, like I said, they're going through something similar that I went through. Like, right, this is who we talking to. Or the girls that haven't, but they just want to be inspired. For everybody who told you no, you show them yes. That's right. With your grind, with your passion. When you cry or when you hurt, there's the opposite effect of that. Go figure that out. What is on the other side of these tears and this pain? Figure it out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I went through therapy just recently, honestly, and people would think that therapy is for people that are crazy. That's not the case. It's just like if you have a heart condition or if you're sick, you want to keep up with that kind of stuff to make sure you're healthy. Mental health is very important.
It is.
If a young girl is out there right now going through molestation or anything inappropriate, anything, being forced to be out there on Figueroa or anything like that, like you don't have to do that. Speak your voice. You can be whatever you want to be. Some people don't have role model. I didn't have a perfect role model. My mom was on the county with us and she did the best she could. I'm never finna play. My mother did great. She did the best she could going through everything. Her mother gave her up when she was 10. She was in a mental ward till she turned 18. Then she met my father and had me. So I will never take away from her. But she fought through it. You know what I'm saying? But mental health is very important. Just not being discouraged, not being afraid to speak, because I was afraid to speak. A lot of people discouraged me to talk and speak. Most importantly, find an outlet that you love. While you going through it, I don't know what you're going through. You could be going through whatever. Find something that you love. I would say write it down. If you have a diary, write it down. If you a young man, try to find some type of sports. You don't got to just necessarily join gangs. Get on a football team. Go volunteer for some stuff. Go help feed the homeless. Like, you got to change your reality. You have to do it. Nobody else going to do it.
Right.
Nobody else did it for me. They didn't even know how bad I was suffering. You know how bad you're suffering. You know that you got to get out that situation. And you got to get you out that situation. Nobody going to help you do it. And God is definitely number one in that. But I would just say find an outlet, because I speak pain through art. Whether it's football, basketball, gymnastics, fucking baseball, dancing, drill team, rapping, singing. Put all of that pain into your art. And that's what I would say. Because that's what I did. I could only tell you what I did.
Right.
That's what I did. And everything else, the pain, let it fuel. Let it fuel. Let the pain make you want to reshape your own reality. My pain and my trauma made me want to reshape everything about my life, everything about my name, everything about who you thought I was. Or you think I'm just a dark-skinned girl. You think dark skin is ugly. Well, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to show you that it's beautiful.
I think that's a key for a lot of, but I know for a lot of people, is to find a way to reshape your circumstance. Like a quote of mine is that, and I won't quote that I created this quote, is define your circumstances and don't allow your circumstances to define you. So, and I just feel that that's important, and it's hard because some people are stuck in hopelessness.
Right.
But if you get that moment, if you're able to find that moment of hope, whether it's through a person for that one day, latch on to that hope.
Right.
And water it and let it blossom. And keep your eyes on that hope and let it blossom and do the things that are necessary to let that hope grow. So before you know it, that hope becomes your reality. And your past becomes just your past.
That's it.
You know? So, and that's how I live.
Yeah.
To this day, right now, is how I live. And that's why I keep on. It's some people who've even told me about this podcast. You know, personal. I don't even take it personal.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's your mind state. That's maybe where you at in your head. And that's maybe how you feel for you.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that way. I'm going to keep doing whatever I got to do.
Yeah.
To get my message across, to say how I feel about things, because I know at some point it's going to help somebody.
Right.
And that's my purpose.
And it
Whether
is.
this gets big or it doesn't. It's big right now to me.
Yeah.
That because I know somebody heard it and it may have changed their life. And I know it because I've had some people hit me up on Instagram and like, hey, man, I like that. What you doing? Some want to get on there. And I say, well, what you doing? And they may not fit the criteria to get on here at this moment.
At the moment.
But I know they will.
And they're inspired by you to do something.
To keep doing it.
To do the work to get here.
And that's good
because
for
of
me.
you.
And that's great for me.
Wow.
And that, to me, that's success for me. You know,
it's deeper than the money.
Yeah, this is not for me. It's not about the money.
Yeah.
It's about the message and how it could get across to somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
And hopefully at some point it could get to the money, you know, but, you know, because it makes things easier for everybody and maybe we could dedicate more to this, more time to this for that reason. But, you know, and then we could do more help.
Yeah.
You know, like the person who has given me the opportunity for this jersey.
Shout out Jersey.
Yeah.
Big Jersey, I'm good.
Virtual Monkey.
Yes.
You know, he's building so much. And he's giving his heart and soul to it for other people. This right here is this man's heart and soul to open this door for me.
Wow. Paying it forward.
And Wolf.
And Wolf. Shout out Wolf. God, I love Wolfie.
Wolf. Why?
Shout out Wolf while we up on this thing.
Hey, man, this opportunity, you know, it means a lot. And this is what it does because they heard my voice speak what I wanted to do. Yes. And they said, you know what, we in.
We believe you.
We gonna believe in you.
We gonna get behind you.
Wolf said, man, look, you know, it may not, we ain't got it all perfect.
Wow.
And it may not be perfect.
Wow.
But we gonna do it and keep doing it until it gets to that.
That's how it grows.
That's the only way it's gonna grow.
I think that's amazing.
And I got nothing but major respect, love.
As you should.
And I appreciate you coming on to my show, speaking your truth.
Thank you for having me.
And being comfortable, getting you how you the Queen of Compton.
Yes.
And what that means to you. And it's not that she's saying she better than anybody. Nah. Just so y'all know. But she's building something and she's trying to give something positive to the city of Compton and other cities around it.
Absolutely.
And that's what it is. So all y'all with the negativity talking about she can't be the Queen of Compton, she can't do this, kill it. Kill it. Jump on her, jump in her lane with her. Help her push it. Help push it so she can help push your goodness, your positivity to help the city of Compton, to help LA, to help LA County, to help other people. Let's do that. Let's stop giving this negativity of knocking each other down when you see somebody getting some traction. Like, let me see what I can say negative about them. That's not what this is about, man. Let's build together if we can.
Right.
You know, it shouldn't be about this, oh, I'm from here, he from there. Man, if we on the same page, let's work together and build it up.
Right.
You know, that's what LA should be about. It's so many people out here trying to push an agenda. And They doing it alone when there's help around them. But just because, for whatever reason, it's not getting done. They're not getting the help and they struggling. But they still grinding.
Right.
Facing it all. And I can't let this go because, I met Diamond. For y'all don't know, I met Diamond, the queen who was also the Queen of Compton at Homeboy Industries.
Yeah. And shout out Homeboys.
It's
oh my
always,
God.
Look, Homeboys.
Changed our lives.
Change my, I'm going to say help change my life.
Yes.
I was on my mindset, I changed myself, and there was other people that helped influence that. But when I walked in the Homeboys doors, I was accepted with open arms. Father G opened his door to me.
Pops.
And Homeboy still is there to support me if I need it.
That's right.
If I need to go to them, they still gonna help me in any way they can. So I just also got to give them a shout out.
Forever indebted.
Forever.
Oh, man.
I'm always a be a part of the Homeboy Industries family.
Once a homeboy, always a homeboy.
Always.
Or homegirl, because that's what we are too.
Homeboy or homegirl.
We got, man. We like
so
that.
Anyway, if any of you guys out there know and want to know how to support Homeboys, go check them out.
Yep.
Whether you just go visit,
or if they need help,
or if you need help,
a job, if you want to change your life,
you need a job,
just got out of prison,
go down there. And I just gotta say this because Homeboy played a major part in my life, and they will continue and always will be. And at some point, if I'm able to give back to them, I'm going to do it.
Yep,
I'm going to do it. So,
me too. I did want to say before we leave,
go ahead.
I'm gonna plug because they need to know what's next.
No, I want to hear that.
Show on God, what's next? Okay, it's keeping it ratchet. I'm just playing. Stop. What's next? I gotta be a little silly. So what's next is the album is finna drop finally because everybody's just like, well, where's your music? And you're doing all these ciphers. And I had a few of my supporters say, you rap with the girls. We love that, but we want to see you now. You more music from you. Just you alone. And I'm gonna be working on that. We got new ciphers coming. We got Cypher House Season 2, which we're in post-production. We've been working on this for so long, but we did it on our own. Shout out Casper and Gert because they were sponsors of ours and they believed in us enough to help us get this done. It's taken a while. Shout out to all the girls that participated in Season 2. The trailer is done. We're still working on the episodes, but it's going to drop soon and we're going to be pitching it. What else? Oh, thank God. Shout out my boy Mike Smooth. So he's doing a tribute album to Eazy-E. And he got the coldest motherfuckers on there. You got to hear me out on this.
Okay.
He got the black hole. I don't even know if I should say all this. I don't want to even get into who he got on there. He got the coldest from Ruthless Records, Hub and the Dub, Watts and Compton and Watts. He chose the Queen. Shout out Midge because he helped me do that too. That's my boy from T-Zone, Midge, my brother. They helped me get on this. Mike Smooth believed in me to get on this. The record I'm getting ready to drop called Compton Born.
Okay.
For all those who want to rewrite where I was born and tell me I wasn't born at Dominguez Hills Hospital in Compton. I was born and raised in Compton, but they be like, "You bet you're not from Compton, you from Carson." Like, bitch, if I'm from Carson, I'll be the Queen of Carson.
Right.
Like, I'll push that. But anyway, the song is fire. The album that I've heard so far is fire. It's a tribute to Eazy-E. And, the proceeds will go to his family and his estate or whatnot. Just to be a part of something like that, because I'm from Compton and the people that are on there, Hub and the Dub, it's great. So we got that going. And then I'm going to get into some TV and film.
Okay. Well,
I want to write. I'm writing some things too.
Don't forget to plug the Cypher House.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Listen, first of all.
To see that.
Yes.
And all the ladies that's involved in that.
You didn't listen to me. I just did. But.
No, but I'm saying like that's on YouTube. Give them how to go see it.
Thank you, Shovon Walker. See, Shovon, you already know. Grind that list because he already know the vibes.
Right.
Cypher House is on YouTube right now. So if you want to check out any of the ciphers, it's MBD Cypher House. Okay. Season 3, we're getting ready to start auditions for that. Right now, we're getting ready to do another cipher. We have a lot of girls submitting their verses, and they're doing pretty good. They're dope. So we're going to do a few more ciphers, release season 2, and start auditioning for season 3. So if you're interested, hit us up at the Cypher House on Instagram, and go look at the shit we got cracking on YouTube at MBD Cypher House. Cypher House is really lit.
It is.
We got girls from, look, this was just a dream. It was all a dream. Hey.
You made it happen.
For real.
It's going.
We got girls from the Bay. We had girls come down from New York, Ohio, just to participate in season 2, and we didn't pay them yet.
Right.
Because we ain't got it like that yet, but we're going to have it. And I predict great things for Cypher House.
I do too.
It's going crazy.
I seen it from when I first saw it. I'm like, this is gonna grow.
Thank you.
You on the right page.
I appreciate it so much, man. Yeah. Oh man, it means a lot to me. This interview was lit for me. I appreciate you.
All the time. Yeah. You already know. Diamond, hey, I appreciate you coming on, girl.
Oh God.
Hey, that's what I feel. One more toast.
Yes.
To our continued success.
Grind LA.
And keep on grinding.
That's what we do.
All right, for my audience, I'm gonna tell you this. Keep your head down, keep your heart in it, and never let the city out hustle you. We'll see you on the next grind. All the time. Grind LA, we out.
Clear out my dream in the dark, podcast and truth.